If you are looking for OCI certification, then you are at right place. Myself, Oracle, AWS and Azure Certified Associate and Microsoft Certified Trainer. In this channel, I am publishing all types of cloud certification videos, job interview questions and many more content to upskill your IT career. So if you are interested in this topic, please subscribe the channel so that you would get more free resources like this. Question 1. Which two methods can you use to create users and grant roles in autonomous database? And the options are using DBMS Cloud Admin Package, B. Through the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Service Console, C. Through SQL Developers, and D. Through SQL Plus. We are at Oracle doc page. Here we can see we can use SQL Developer tool to connect autonomous database. To do so, first we need to start SQL Developer and create a new connection. Then need to provide connection name, username, password, etc. properties and connect to autonomous database. Let's refer another documentation. Here we can see with SQL Plus command we can also connect to autonomous database. Coming back to our options. Option A, using DBMS Cloud Admin Package. This is incorrect. We cannot connect autonomous database using DBMS Cloud Admin Package. Option B is also incorrect. We cannot connect to autonomous database using OCI Service Console. Option C, through SQL Developer. Yes, this is correct. We just saw how to do that. Option D, through SQL Plus. Yes, this is also correct. We can use SQL Plus command to connect to our autonomous database. So the correct answers for question 1 are option C and option D. Question 2. When running lots of high concurrent queries in autonomous database, you should use which predefined service connection? And the options are A. DBName medium, B. DBName high, C. DBName concurrent, and D. DBName low. First check one comparison chart for different types of service connection. If the connection is high, then resource will be highest and concurrency will be lowest. If the connection is medium, resource will be less than high, but concurrency would be high than high service connection. For low connection type, resource would be least, but concurrency would be highest. So as per the question, requirement is to run high concurrent queries. So option A is incorrect, as concurrency is high, not highest. Option B and C both are incorrect too. And option D, DBName low. This is correct choice, as this would provide highest concurrency. So the correct option for question 2 is option D. Question 3. Where can a user's public SSH key be added on the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Console in order to execute API calls? And the options are A. SSH keys are not required in Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. B. SSH keys cannot be added from console. They have to be added using REST API only. C. On the Autonomous Database Console. And D. Navigate to Identity, select Users panel on the console and select Add Public Key. In the console, click Identity, then click User. Locate the user in the list and then click Username to view the details. Then click Add Public Key. Paste the key's value into the window and click Add. This is the actual process. Option A is incorrect, as SSH key does require. Option B is also incorrect, as it can be added from console. Option C is incorrect, as this is not accurate. Need to know exact path. Option D is correct, as this is the actual step we need to perform. So the correct answer for question 3 is option D. Question 4. Which 3 Oracle Cloud Infrastructure resources do you need to configure before provisioning your autonomous database with private endpoint? And the options are A. Security list, B. Root table, C. Subnet, D. VCN, and E. Network security group. Let's see what are the prerequisites for autonomous database to connect to private subnet. First, we need a virtual cloud network or VCN. Second, we need a private subnet. And third, we need at least one network security group or NSG. Now coming back to the options. Option A, security list, is incorrect. We need network security group, not security list. Option B, root table, is also incorrect. This is not a prerequisite. Option C, subnet, is correct. More accurately, private subnet. Option D, VCN, is correct. Yes, this is one of the prerequisite. Option E, network security group, is also correct. So the correct options for question 4 are option C, option D and option E. Question 5. Which three event types are supported for autonomous database? And the options are A, update IORM begin, B, maintenance begin, C, terminate end, D, change autoscaling configuration compartment, and E, change compartment begin. First, see what event types are supported for autonomous database. Maintenance begin and maintenance end are supported. Then terminate end and terminate begin is also supported. And change compartment begin and change compartment end are also supported. We would recommend to go through and try to remember all types of events which are supported for autonomous database. Coming back to the question, option A is incorrect. This is not supported for autonomous database. Option B is supported, so this is correct. Option C, terminate end, is also supported, so this is correct. Option D is not supported, hence incorrect. And option E, change compartment begin, is supported, so correct choice. So the correct options for question 5 are option B, option C and option E. Question 6. When in the SQL monitoring tab of Performance Hub, you see a clock icon in the status column. What does this mean? And the options are A, the SQL statement is executing, B, the SQL statement did not complete either due to an error, C, the SQL statement is quit, and D, the SQL statement completed is execution. In the SQL monitoring tab, different icon indicates different messages. Like a spinning icon indicates that the SQL statement is running. A green checkmark icon indicates that the SQL statement completed its execution. A red cross icon indicates that the SQL statement did not complete. And a clock icon indicates the SQL statement is quit. Option A, the SQL statement is executing. No, this is incorrect. For SQL statement is executing, there would be spinning icon, not clock icon. Option B, the SQL statement did not complete either due to an error. This is applicable for red cross, not clock icon. So this is also incorrect. Option C, the SQL statement is quit. This is correct. To show the SQL statement is quit, clock icon will be appeared. Option D, the SQL statement completed its execution. For this, there would be green check mark, not clock icon. So this is also incorrect. So the correct option for question 6 is option C. Question 7. Which three are use cases for Graph Studio? And the options are option A, 3D modeling, B, chart analysis, C, pattern matching, D, facial recognition, and E, clustering. We can see Graph Studio support graph modeling. This also support pattern matching for data scientists. This is also useful in machine learning for clustering. Don't worry, I have mentioned all these documentation links in the description so that you can go through those to know more in detail. Back to the question, 3D modeling is correct. As we saw, Graph Studio does support this. Option B, chart analysis, is incorrect. Option C, pattern matching, is correct. Option D, facial recognition, is incorrect. Last option, option E, clustering, is correct. So the correct options for question 7 are option A, C and E. Question 8. When enabling autoscaling, which two options change? And the options are A, number of OCPUs displayed in the console, B, amount of storage, C, parallelism settings, D, IO resources, and E, level of concurrency. With autoscaling enabled, the database can use up to 3 times more CPU and I/O resources than specified by the number of OCPUs currently shown in scale up or down dialog. When auto scaling is enabled, if your workload requires more CPU and I/O resources, the database automatically uses the resources without any manual intervention required. So with auto scaling enabled, it modifies number of CPU and I/O resources. Back to the question, option A is correct. As with auto scaling, it changed the number of CPU. Option B is incorrect. Auto scaling do not change storage. Option C, parallelism settings also not change. So this is incorrect. Option D, I/O resources. Yes, this is correct. Auto scale change the number of I/O resources depend on the demand. Level of concurrency also cannot change with auto scaling. So option E is incorrect. So the correct options for question 8 are option A and D. Question 9. Which can be scaled independently of the number of CPUs in an autonomous database? And the options are A, sessions, B, storage, C, parallelism, and D, concurrency. There are few key features of autonomous database, and out of this, one key feature is fully elastic scaling. Due to fully elastic scaling, it can scale compute and storage independently to fit your database workload with no downtime. I highly recommend to go through these key features more in details. Coming back to the question, option A, session, is incorrect. Option B, storage. In fully elastic scaling, it can scale storage independently. So this is correct. Option C, parallelism, is also incorrect. Option D, concurrency, is also incorrect. So the correct option for question 9 is option B. Question 10. What happened with the standby database when disabling autonomous data guard? And the options are A, the standby database is started read-write. B, the standby database is transformed in a refreshable clone. C, the standby database is terminated. And D, the standby database is started read-only. From autonomous database detail page, you can enable or disable autonomous data guard. But if you disable autonomous data guard, then it will also terminate the standby database. Option A, the standby database is started read-write. This is incorrect. Option B, the standby database is transformed in a refreshable clone. This is also incorrect. Option C, the standby database is terminated. Yes, this is true. If you disable autonomous data guard, it will terminate the standby database. Option D, the standby database is started read-only. This is also incorrect. So the correct option for question 10 is option C. Question 11. You have an autonomous transaction processing database with 3 OCPUs and auto scaling turned on, and your application is using TP Urgent service. The load on the database increases from 3 OCPUs to 9 OCPUs. What is the total number of concurrent statements that the TP Urgent service can support? And the options are A, 2700, B, 1500, C, 900, and D, 1800. Let's see the formula to calculate this. As per the OCI doc, the formula for TP Urgent is 300 into number of OCPU. Now come back to the questions and calculate this. In the question, it is mentioned load increases from 3 to 9 OCPU. So the total number of concurrent statement would be 300 into 9, which is 2700. So the option A is correct. Option B, 1500, is incorrect. Option C, 900, is also incorrect. And the last option, option D, 1800, is also incorrect. So the correct option for question 11 is option A. Question 12. Which autonomous database service is not used to connect to an autonomous transaction processing instance? And the options are A, high, B, medium, C, TP performant, and D, TP urgent. There are some predefined database service names for autonomous transaction processing. These are TP urgent, TP, high, medium, and low. Coming back to the question, option A, high, and option B, medium, both are valid database service. As per the question, we have to select which is not. So both option A and B are incorrect. Option C is correct as there is nothing called TP performant. Option D, TP urgent, is also valid, hence incorrect choice. So the correct option for question 12 is option C. Question 13. Which statement is false about Oracle Autonomous JSON database? And the options are A. JSON data stored natively in the database. B. You can promote Autonomous JSON database to Autonomous Transaction Processing. C. It supports NoSQL style document-centric application. And D. There is a 20 GB limit on JSON collection. Few important key properties of Autonomous JSON database are: you can promote an Autonomous JSON database service to an Autonomous Transaction Processing service. Second, you can store only up to 20 GB of data other than JSON document collection. There is no storage limit for JSON collection. Third, it supports NoSQL style document-centric application as this is a schemaless. And fourth, JSON data is stored natively in the database. So option A, JSON data is stored natively in the database. Yes, this is true for Autonomous JSON database service, but we need to choose incorrect statement. Hence, this is wrong. Option B, you can promote Autonomous JSON database to Autonomous Transaction Processing. This is also valid statement, so incorrect choice. Option C, it supports NoSQL style document-centric application. Yes, this supports NoSQL application, so this is incorrect choice. Option D, there is a 20 GB limit on JSON collection. This is wrong. There are limit for 20 GB for other than JSON document, but for JSON document there is no limit. So this is correct. So the correct option for question 13 is option D. Question 14. Which data file format is not supported when using the package DBMS Cloud on shared Exadata infrastructure? And the options are A. Avro, B. Parquet, C. JSON, D. Microsoft SQL Server. Now analyze the options. Remember, we need to identify the format which is not supported. Option A, Avro, is supported, hence incorrect. Option B, Parquet, is also supported. You can use Parquet format for DBMS Cloud, so this is incorrect. Option C, JSON, is also supported, so incorrect. Option D, .mdf, this is not supported. .mdf format is for MS SQL Server database file, so this is correct option. So the correct option for question 14 is option D. Question 15. Which cloud service is not supported to import data pump files from using dedicated Exadata infrastructure? And the options are A. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Object Storage, B. Google Cloud Storage, C. Amazon S3, and D. Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Object Storage Classic. Data pump import lets you import data from data pump files residing on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Object Storage, Microsoft Azure, AWS S3 and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Object Storage Classic. You can save your data to your cloud object store and use Oracle Data Pump to load the data to Autonomous Database. Coming back to the question, remember we have to select which is not supported. Option A, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Object Storage. This is supported, so incorrect choice. Option B, Google Cloud Storage. No, Google Cloud Storage is not supported, hence this is correct choice. Option C, Amazon S3. This is also supported, so incorrect choice. And last option, option D, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure Object Storage Classic. This is also supported, so incorrect choice. So the correct option for question 15 is option B. Congratulations, we are at end of the video. Have discussed many questions which will help you in your exam preparation. Check other videos already available in this channel to get more questions. Hope you have learned a lot. So please like the video, subscribe the channel and share with others. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.